Hi first graders, today is Wednesday, April 29th. We're going to start off with our freckle and rocket points. So we have Zoe 30 freckle points, Clara 10 freckle points, Aiden K 40 rocket points, Jaden 10 freckle points, Sophia 10 rocket points, Daniel 10 freckle points, and 60 rocket points, Aiden W 30 rocket points. And Aiden W finished his addition for rocket, so he will be getting his tag and certificate this Friday when he picks up his work, and he will move on to subtraction. Good job, Aiden, keep it up. So our points, after adding in the Zoom math points from our Zoom meeting, the boys are at 870 and the girls are at 345. Okay, let's go on to what you're going to do today for your schoolwork. Okay, so you are going to do your uppercase K handwriting, and then you're going to do Words Their Way, page 140. You're also going to do, our meeting is going to be at 1 o'clock again on Zoom, and the math book pages you'll need are pages 613 through 618. Then, for science, we're going to do an animal classification. So you want to look for this paper that I sent home. Okay, so look for this paper. You'll also need a pencil and some crayons. Okay, so at the end of this video, there will be an instructional part where I will teach you how to fill this out, and we're going to learn about amphibians. Okay, so make sure that you have this paper. You need a pencil, an eraser, and some crayons. So you could pause the video before it starts, and if I'm going too fast, you could just pause it and listen to it again so that you make sure you can fill this out correctly and neatly, okay? All right, so make sure you keep reading, get your calendar signed, and that's all the schoolwork for today. Have a great day. Okay, so we're gonna start with amphibians, and what amphibians are is some examples of amphibians would be frogs. So we're gonna write frogs here in this box. You write what I write, okay, frogs. And another one would be a salamander. Okay, a different one would be a toad. So those three examples are what would be some amphibians, okay? All right, and now let's figure out how they breathe, okay? Well, amphibians, they're usually born with gills, and as they get older, they grow lungs. So they're born breathing a certain way, and then as they get older, they develop a different way to breathe, okay? So we're gonna write usually born. Write nice and neat, okay? Because you're gonna need this later for a project we're gonna be doing. Born with gills. If I'm going too fast, just pause the video and then you can catch up, okay? And as they get older, if you think it's not gonna fit, then just write smaller and use your eraser, okay? All right, and as they get older, they grow lungs. And that's what we have. We use lungs to be able to breathe with. Okay, all right. So let's talk about babies and the amphibian babies. So the amphibian babies are kind of like soft and jelly-like, like eggs kind of, but soft. And they go through something called metamorphosis, which means a change. So they go from being an egg to a tadpole to a frog. Okay, so we're gonna write soft, jelly-like. This is going to be a lot in this box, so you need to write small so that you can fit everything, okay? So soft, jelly-like eggs, kind of like, you know, like those bobas in those drinks, kind of like soft like that, okay? And they go through something called metamorphosis, which is a change. Go through change. And it's called metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. That is a very long word. metamorphosis, which means change. Okay, so they go from being an egg to a tadpole to a frog. Okay? All right, and like I said, I'm probably writing too fast for you and you can't keep up, and that's okay, just press pause. Okay, let's learn about their blood. Okay, we are warm-blooded creatures. We have warm blood. Our blood inside of us is warm, okay? These guys, they're cold-blooded, okay? Their blood is cold, okay? And amphibians have cold blood, cold-blooded, okay? And their body temperature changes. Body temperature changes depending on the outside temperature. So if it's hot outside, their bodies are hot. If it's cold outside, their bodies are cold. Okay? All right. Now, let's learn about their skin. So what does their skin feel like? Okay? Their skin is going to be smooth, and it's going to be moist or wet. So moist is another word for wet. And so it's always gonna be moist or wet to the touch. Okay, if you touch it, it's always gonna be smooth, moist, and wet. Okay, and let's talk about where does they live? What's their habitat like? Okay, they spend most of their lives in water and part on land. Okay, so like we spend most of our lives on land, right? I mean, we go swimming sometimes, but so that's our water, but we don't live in the water, okay? They live mostly on land, but some in the water. Mostly in water, but also part on land. Okay, so we're gonna put spend part of their lives in water. Water and part on land. Okay, so here's what you're going to do next. Okay, we are going to figure out we're going to use a thermometer with the sun to represent warm-blooded animals. And it says use the thermometer with the snowflake to represent cold-blooded animals. So this is a cold-blooded animal. Remember we talked about this, cold blood. So we're not going to use it with the sun, we're using it with the snowflake, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to go up 2 dashes, okay? So you're going to go up 2 dashes and you're going to draw a line right there, okay? And then you're going to get a red crayon or a red color pencil, whatever you want to use. You can use your red crayon or red color pencil. And you're going to color this in just to the bottom. If you mess up a little bit like I did, it's okay. Okay, and then next we are going to be doing a little art project with this tomorrow, but I want you to get started on it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take any color crayon you want. I'm just going to use brown, and you're going to color these things that are using it to hang on. Okay. Okay, you could just color them. And when you're done with this, you're not going to put it in your finished pile because you're going to need it tomorrow for a project we're going to be doing with these, where we're going to cut these out. So don't do it yet because I'll show you how I want you to cut them out later in a different video. Okay? All right, and that's it. So make sure you write things correctly, spell them right, and do it so that you can read it. If you messed up, then just press pause, erase it, and then start over, okay? Thank you.